Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is ZLPOV, and here we are, week 2 of Berserk 2016 anime. Let me just get started right now with the overview, since not much happened in this episode that was actually worth talking about. First of all, the intro scene is just Guts being told that he's gonna get captured by these knights led by a girl or a lady named Farnese. She has two very noticeable main main knights with her. One of them, his name is Serpico. The other one, his name is Azan, if I'm not mistaken. So Guts resists. He's not gonna get captured. He says he ends up fighting Azan first. Azan is a guy with this huge, like, two-sided spear, almost like, but with bolts on the ends. So it's not really a spear. Very cool. I absolutely love this character. Guts shows his skills with the big, long, heavy sword. He, by the way, is already a little bit injured after his fight with the previous monster, which was the tree demon, and the skull and the skeleton warriors. To which he does like a sort of flip over Azan, and he goes for Farnese. I don't know why, because it doesn't really get to explain in this episode. And Farnese manages to deal the final blow to him. She manages to stab him right around the neck area. He falls asleep. He passes out. He gets captured. All his gear gets taken away. And when they arrive to their let's say regroup location, Farnese asks all the knights to leave him alone with her, as he's basically captured and unable to move. To which we get a very interesting conversation that I absolutely love in this Berserk series in general. That is the conversation where Gus questions Farnese and religion and what she's fighting for, and Farnese absolutely loses it. She fucking starts whipping Guts to the point where, like, it shows this other side of this character that I absolutely loved. That is she really doing it for God, or is she doing it out of because she has frustrations, or because she feels pleasure doing this? Absolutely love this part. In between, we get some flashbacks with Guts and Griffith, and some Casca flashbacks. Absolutely great. Like, honestly, the animation didn't bother me as much today, maybe because there was less 3D being used than last episode. I'm not too sure what the actual reason for is. Maybe I'm just getting used to it a lot more. However, we also do find out in this meeting between Farnese and Guts that the reason why he was being captured. They were apparently, so the Band of the Hawks, towards the end of the Golden Age arc, they were going rogue in a sense. Griffith kind of like was trying to kiss the princess, what's her name, and he basically killed their queen, if I'm not mistaken. Spoiler, I guess, if you didn't watch the freaking previous movies. Regardless, they were considered a rogue knight squad, so to say. And all of a sudden, like, they just disappeared. Some of them survived, and these knights, they know about this. Farnese was also told that the knight that she should be looking for had a very ominous item with him, which of course refers to the Beylet that she later picks up during the conversation. Very cool. Absolutely love it. Then, after Azan basically walks into the situation and sees that Farnese basically whipped the shit out of Guts, she feels a little bit ashamed. Like, she just tells like the guards to just bring him away, tend to his wounds, and like, this conversation was gonna go on further if Guts did not do anything about it. Puck, luckily being there, manages to get the keys to his cell. He frees Guts. Guts decides to kidnap Farnese, and kind of takes her as a hostage. the Azan is over there trying to stop him. He got straight up grabs like a torch and tells him like, I'm gonna burn her ass if you don't let me through. To which him as a knight, he's like, oh, like I cannot let this happen. Like, all right, you go. And he just straight up like lets all the horses loose so that no one can pursue him. The last scene of this episode is just Guts on his horse. Farnese finally like waking up from being kidnapped. Puck making a very good comment of like I'm saying hi to her, like she's not seeing me, like it's like she doesn't want to see me. It's like she's forcing herself not to believe that I'm here. Very interesting comment, which will play a rather important role in the future of this series, depending on how far this animation and this part of the series goes. Regardless, overall great episode. I have to be honest with you. There were some things here and there that I did not like. So while I'm at it, I might as well just get to the 3 points that I talk about with every overview. That is the animation, the pacing, and the value to the overall plot. First of all, the animation. As mentioned, it does not bother me as much as it used to. Last episode, at least. There were still some 3D shots that did not feel too realistic. I would say the time when Farnese is whipping Guts, it just feels like she has paint on her whip and she's just splashing like a brush. She's just brushing paint on his chest. It doesn't feel like she's actually doing damage to him. Some of those things that semi bother me. The rest overall pretty good when it comes to animation. Still nowhere near as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, unfortunately. Sorry I have to put that out there. 2, the pacing. I felt that this episode it's a mixture. That the beginning of the fight felt a little bit dragged out, like Guts being captured. Yet towards the end, the conversation between Farnese and Guts felt a little bit more okay, and then the ending felt a lot more rushed, like Guts escaping. So it started off rather slow, and then towards the middle it had a rather good pacing, and then towards the end, like it just flew off. Excuse me. Then the value to the overall plot. We get introduced to a couple of characters that if you are familiar with Berserk, or if you've kept an eye on the promotional images, you will see that these three characters play a rather important role. Farnese, Isidro, Puck, Azan, here and there, but these characters do play a rather important role. Plus the fact that we get some more backstory for the people who are unfamiliar with the Berserk Golden Age arc. You get a little bit more of Guts' backstory, which adds to the value of the overall plot. Indeed, we get a little bit of a snipped hint as to a future bigger issue, which would be the fact that magical beings are forcibly not seen, they're not believed in. Kind of like a little bit like the Fairly Odd Parents. If you're familiar with the cartoon, the rule of like when you become a certain age, you suddenly stop believing in them, and even though they're still there, you technically can't see them anymore because you technically don't believe in them anymore. Kind of like that, and that's kind of an ongoing thing with the whole team that goes on throughout the entirety of Berserk, which I absolutely loved. And I'm curious to see how they're going to develop this in the future with this animation and with this storyline. Judging from next week's preview, there seems to be some altering to the manga, if I'm not mistaken. I saw some things that looked quite different than what I remember it. Regardless, the music by Susumu Hirasawa, absolutely doing its work, adding value to this episode. Absolutely loved it. That's it regarding my Berserk episode 2 overview. My name is DLPOV. Hit the like button down below. I'm going to be doing this every week, so if you enjoyed this overview or if you enjoyed my live reaction that I also put in my channel, then subscribe, because I'm going to be doing this every week, especially for this series that I absolutely love, and I kind of want to see what this animation studio does with this series. Regardless, my name is DLPOV. Have a good weekend. Bye.